Yeah, we'll go around the horn. We are recording, so let me fix this real quick. All right. What is going on YouTube? I'm here with a lovely gang of fellas. We've got a couple new team members that we've recently recruited to the Tutor Base squad. We've got Aaron here, who's been on the squad for a while, but he didn't get his formal introductory video, so we did this all for him. No, I'm kidding. What's up, Aaron? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great, man. It's Friday, so well, by the time we're recording this, it's Friday night, so feeling good. And we've got Joden from Tampa, who Aaron slightly recruited, but more or less, Joden, we met you at a couple PQs actually. I think one was Kissimmee and then Collective.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to have you on the board. Good to see you. And then some of y'all may recognize Mr. Tom, aka Saber4. He's known for his awesome YouTube content. How you doing, Tom?
Doing great, man. It's a good Friday to be talking Star Wars.
Definitely. And then Josh, our man Josh up in Jacksonville. How you doing, man?
Doing good. Glad to be here.
Yeah, and with Josh, we met you through
Counterspell and Steven.
Yeah, Steven. Yeah, that was the Jacksonville showdown we mobbed up to with our jerseys and looked all badass. And then I think we got cooked by like a Vader Yellow player. I can't remember who ended up taking it.
That sounds about right. It was. I think a Vader Yellow won that one, and then there were a couple loot decks that did pretty well, and that was good.
Yeah, no, it was great vibes. Yeah, so I really wanted to get up here, guys, to record with y'all and just to like give you like that formal intro, being on the team. To the base, we've been together for a little over a year now, and it started as just a funny idea of our boy Sean's, Mr. Spork, and one day I just asked him like, "Hey, what's to the base?" This is like when I started playing the game, like my first couple months, and he just said, "Oh, it's a team I made," and I said, "Well, can I be on the team?" And he was kind of like, "Yeah, you're the first team member." So it literally just started from basically nothing. But the meaning behind the team name is pretty cool, and that kind of drew me in a little bit, and it sort of resembles that the journey it takes to get to that final hit point where you're winning that game, and but it also resembles like every little effort you put in can lead to a win. So it just resonated with me a little bit. So I really caught on to the name. And I think now when we play in person and you're like, oh, I go to the base, and the first thing that comes to mind is the team. So it just brings good memories to mind. Like, with the team, I've made like really good relationships with you guys, friendships. With the team, and like quite frankly, I don't have like a group of friends outside of this. You guys are literally all my friends. So it's just so cool to bring more people on, and it just started with me and Sean, so we really didn't know how this would spiral out into, and I'm really honored to have you guys on the team. I know it's still early on, and we kind of haven't had a lot of action in terms of like we could probably be practicing more, but we're all grown men with jobs and lives, so like we kind of fit it in when we can. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit about like what brought you guys to want to join the team. We'll kind of go from there, and then just jump into like talking about Star Wars, the new set, rotation, and everything, and then yeah, we'll make it a quick one. Aaron, I'll start with you since you're on the top left. Let's go with bring us back to when you like first joined the team. Like,
I'd say has it been a year since I joined, or somewhere close to that?
It's
Has
been
it
that long since we did your intro video.
I have no. It's been a while since I joined it. Regardless, but no, like I
Yeah.
remember like seeing all the two base team like at like you said the PQs and other events,
Mhm.
and I think it was one of the times you came over to Tampa for work and I just played out locals. I was like, what does it take to join the team? Because I wanted to be more, involved in SWU, like with the team specifically, get the practice games, get more involved in the communities, and you were like, just join, like just send me, and Sean a message, and then you basically join, and that's where we're at.
Yeah,
And I've
yeah.
been trying to slowly get more people from Tampa to build the Tampa base of the Tampa section of Tutor base.
Super cool. That's a great segue to go into how we kind of got Joden in here recently. And Joden, we and you kind of met at like I said, a couple of the PQs, but tell me more like what made you want to join the team, and what makes you excited about being on a team.
Yeah, I mean, did meet you guys at the PQs. It was just fun. It's always a good match. You guys are good people, and Aaron was the person who introduced me to Star Wars. He was the first one when I bought my first showcase. He was like, "You're gonna want to put that in a sleeve." I didn't even know what a showcase was.
He was raw
Um,
dogging a Hondo showcase, just no sleeve, like not even a penny sleeve. Just had the card in his like a lunchbox.
Pretty much, yeah. In my lunchbox I carry around. And then, to the base is you just like you said, it's the most said thing in the game. So I think it's just a great name, and I was happy to join.
Yeah, no, it excites me that people. At first, the first thing you said about just the good vibes and just like getting along with some of the guys that are on the team too at some of these events, like, is really important for us to like maintain a likable group of guys. Like we sort of like egoless. We're really just like most of us are dads. I don't know if anyone here has kids, but yeah, like we all just happen to, most of like the first like 5 to 10 members like ended up just happen to have kids, so that kind of like matched. And we really I think our biggest quality is really just the family aspect, and that to me is like super important. Josh, what about you? We pretty much got you in through Steven somewhat, but you kind of like got yourself in. You were really cool in offering to like help me sort of manage the Florida Discord, which kind of got pawned on to me from Michael Carlock from the Boston Network, because he used to be the admin for the Discord, and then I had my own Twitch and I was doing my Discord, and I just had a little more experience on it, and I told him, hey, like, do you need help with the Discord? And he made me a mod, and then fast forward to now, I'm like, now we have the Tutor-based Discord that I'm managing, and then I'm also doing a couple of the Discords, so you were like, hey, I'll help. And then we
Yeah, so that was part of it, and obviously I knew you guys from several different people. Kyle, I played up in the PQ in Atlanta. And then you guys coming over to Counterspell and playing there, and then Steven obviously being a part of the team. And every time I interacted with you guys, it was always a lot of fun. And then talking with Sean, and just I wanted to be a part of a team where I could help build other people's decks, make myself a little bit more competitive, but not have to worry too much about being too competitive. Like you mentioned, some of us have kids. I have a whole family, job, everything else. So I can't travel the world to go play SWU. But having a group of people that I can play and that I know within the state of Florida, it's a kind of it's a fun feeling to have, and just I like being a part of a little community to help build the game.
Yeah, for sure. No, that it's a you called out all the hot points. Yeah, just like, a lot of people say, hey, what do I got to do to be on the team? Like, I haven't won any events. I'm like, join the club, buddy. we're working on that one. We've got really close. I don't want to say that we're not competitive. I don't want to say that we don't take the game seriously when it comes to like the big tournaments, because we certainly do. And we want to get better. We want to be on podiums and stuff like that. But it's not one of those things where like, oh, you can't join the team because like you haven't top aided. And I'm like, well, then I wouldn't be on the team, or so.
Right.
It's really just about that family, community, spreading the game. We all want the health of the game to grow and succeed. Right. So that really like drives the team. And then deck building and just being active in the Discord. It's fun. It kind of brings me back to being like in my early 20s and like teens, where like it just felt cool being on a team. Like for me, it was competitive Halo. And now it's kind of spiraled into Star Wars. So
I mean, listen, like the deck building aspect we have in our Discord is amazing. Like I think there's a new deck posted or at least tweaked once a day. At least once a deck. Like one deck a day. People are talking about it, people are tweaking decks, and my brain's too smooth to come out come up with come up with new ways to play a deck. Like Kyber's
Our boy
always is
Nathan.
flipping.
Shout out to Nate.
Yeah, like he's always coming out with just wild stuff.
Yep. Now, the deck building threads is huge, and I love that we have like our internal deck thread where it's like we don't want anyone to know some of our juice yet, and then we have we do have a public one, for like the casual folks in the community in the Discord that aren't necessarily on the team but still want to be involved in
Those fun
conversation.
decks that they can mess with and learn how to play and understand
Yeah.
different aspects of the game, which is a big part of it. So.
Yeah, and then finally we got Tom, Mr. Saber4, and let me say something before you go on. I was a huge fan of the content for the longest before like we even met. And I remember the day like I found out you lived in Florida. I was like, holy crap, like, oh man, this guy's awesome. Hopefully we get a chance to play. But Tom, it's awesome to have you on board, and yeah, like what brought you on the two to base, and what excites you about being on a team?
So, I mean, you guys have covered a lot of it. The idea of like this is probably the most said phrase in the entire game is getting out, starting, and it's like, all right, units on the board, okay, two to base, here you go. And I remember showing up, coming down to Orlando area, I think probably Collective or something like that,
Yep.
and like I brought a total rogue deck for that one because I brought the double red Luke.
Uh-huh.
And people kind of look at me like, what the heck is this? And suddenly I'm sitting in like seat 2 with it, just like, all right, just chewing through some things, but saw the little tokens and got to meet a bunch of the guys that were down there, and had that same experience that I'm here in Ocala, so I'm here in kind of Central Florida. I'm not terribly surrounded by major communities. I've got a bunch of people that I know that are in Gainesville that play. I've got a bunch of people that are here locally that play, and they're great to play with. But like everybody else, they got lives, they got families, they got stuff they're doing.
Yeah.
And not a whole bunch of them were Discord active and doing some doing deck building and talking about like going to tournaments and going to big stuff. Which I'm signed up for Atlanta already. I've got tickets to Vegas, so like everything's set to go to the 2 big events this year because I missed them last year.
Nice.
And wanting to get out there and not just be competitive in them, because that's I'll be honest, I expect that sometime in Atlanta I'm going to be sitting down playing side events because that's what's going to happen. But at the same time, getting to sit down, play the game, have a group of people that are kind of a community around you, get a group of guys and that are passionate about the game, that want to grow not just themselves in it but grow others, and that are just good people, because everybody that I've met with Two to Base has been that they've been just good people. We sat down at PQs, we showed the most recent one up in Jacksonville, like the limited PQ. We all showed up and everybody has decks and trying to do stuff. And I think Kyber showed up and didn't have a spare deck to play, so I just tossed him the Java deck that I've got to let him run that. Just to run through it, have some fun with it. He's asking me a couple questions about it at the end of it, just like, hey, what'd you build here? And that kind of stuff is just great to me because it's a good opportunity to think my way through some stuff, talk through some stuff, get other people's opinions, not just be one mind working on things.
Yeah.
But it's been great fun.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the kind words, man. It means a lot. Like I said, I don't have a many group of friends outside of this, so yeah, like just bringing on more friends and just good people means a lot to us. And I know Nathan, who's sort of like our community lead, and I do quotations because we all kind of support him in that, like leading this team, and we're active as we can be. And anytime someone at events when you're down, you're going into your O2 going into that third round, we'll lift you up. We'll crack the jokes, we'll support you, and that for me is like huge. Like when we're at events and we're all there and we got the jerseys and the swag and the the coins, it's just that little kid in me that's like, yeah, like we're badass. Like I love my team. One of the PQs I remember, I think it was collective. I brought like 7 or 10 like pre-made sandwiches. Was handing them out to the team. This is before y'all were on. I think Aaron was on, but I don't think you were there. And it just felt really cool to like be that guy. And I'm a dad in real life, so like it just felt right. These are all my kids. And I'm not the oldest one here. I'm 35. I don't think I'm the oldest one, but yeah, no, it's a pleasure to have y'all, really. And thanks for going around the horn, sort of, and giving some kind vibes on Two Debates. So it's great to have you guys. This video was a little overdue. Usually, I like to get it out real quick so we can just get the vibes going. Awesome. Yeah, we'll go into a quick little segue into like the game itself, what we're excited for. I don't really have a itinerary here, but we'll talk. I'll say, how good does this game feel right now compared to like right before rotation happened? Aaron, what do you think? Give me a couple minutes.
I actually like it a lot better. I think rotation it brought back. The game is more healthy now than it was before. I feel like post rotation. I also thought aggressive negotiations was gonna be worse than it was, but like playing games online and stuff, I haven't seen that take over the meta. But I mean, we'll see what happens at the first, actual true tournament, because I don't think there's been one since rotation.
No, not yet.
Yeah, so
we've had the Cantina Clash and the Nexus Open.
yeah, like there was like the little event, but there hasn't been, a true. So I'm excited to see how the meta shapes up. I mean, before rotation, like there was 3 leaders that like ran the meta. It was Han, it was Yoda, and that was actually pretty much it.
Han 1 and Han 2.
That's all. Yeah, then Han 2. Yeah, the Hans and yeah. But like now, like I feel like there's the potential for like the top of my head, like 5 leaders that could be insane. Like you have Jyn Erso, you have Mother Talzin got rebirth, you have Kenobi that has new life. I've seen the Boba, I've seen the Luke, Vel. Like there's a lot of new like even like newer sets. Like I remember like when new leaders would come out, when Secrets of Power came out and all the leaders were released, and we were like, nothing's new. Like I don't think anyone was playing any of the new leaders Secrets of Power wise. But like after rotation, a lot of the new leaders seem to bring life back into the game. I mean, hell, the Joden at our both our pre-releases, we had like 20 people each.
Yeah.
Like we had like
nice.
the first pre-release on the Saturday, he ran out of pre-release kits, so he was just giving people 6 random packs. And of course, the guy who got the 6 packs pulled a showcase. But like put a Boba showcase. I was like, well, okay. But yeah, no, like we had 20 people come out on the first pre-release, and I think close to that also on the second pre-release. Like it was the biggest turnout since set 1, and like I know the store absolutely loved it, and we loved it. Like seeing all the old faces and then seeing a bunch of new faces. Like it's like the rotation has brought life back to the game, and I'm super excited to see how it turns out.
Joden, what about you? How you feeling?
I think it's great. I was really against it at first. I liked having all the old cards. I miss Overwhelming Barrage. I miss Power of the Dark Side. Every control player, but it's definitely put some new life. I mean, Aaron's right. It's every night is stacked. People are very excited to come out and play. I'm excited to just. It's fun to build new stuff.
Yeah.
And I've got the deck I like. I'm going with it.
Piet.
And yeah, it's Piet Yellow. Yeah, I think it's just great. It annoys people to no end, and I think that's fantastic.
Vermilion?
You can't stand yellow villainy.
What'd you say, Josh? No. You can't stand yellow villainy?
Yellow villainy. All the balance, all the capture. It drives me nuts.
Hey, from set 1 Boba.
Really fun.
Yeah.
On that note, Josh, tell us, like, how are you feeling? And how's locals been like around you guys in Jacksonville?
Locals have been pretty good. We've actually seen a pretty big increase. We've had a lot of players that have been interested in the game, but they didn't want to get involved before rotation because they weren't able to get, the Vaders, the Lukes, all the other different cards that were expensive or hard to get.
Yep.
But rotation hit, and I saw we had at our pre-release we ran out of the pre-release kits and everything. Even the next week when people are starting to build their decks, we had a pretty big showing at Counterspell, which is on a weekday, which is hard to do sometimes.
Yeah.
I know some of like places like Game Record and stuff like that are picking up, but overall, I think the rotation has seriously helped the game. Um, definitely helped with some of the cards that were a little bit too overpowered. Um, and like I mentioned before, now you're sitting here looking at multiple leaders that are competitive, and it's not just two or three. Like
Yep.
honestly, playing some of the decks I play, anything can beat anything at
Es-
this point. So it comes down
especially with the
to.
splash.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
it really added a lot.
So I think it's in a pretty good spot.
Yep. I can attest that. It's feeling great. Tom, how about you guys in Ocala?
Really liked rotation so far. I was a big so when I started the Saber 4 YouTube channel, I did that at the launch of Jump to Lightspeed. And so this is like right at a year that I've been doing this, and it really does kind of breathe new life into things because now, I've played the game since week one, but at the same time, like everything that I kind of studied and built when I'm doing videos and doing set releases and doing things like that, now that entire core makes up the bulk of the leaders that we're working with.
Yep.
And so it's been interesting to see that because you've had 2 years to study and know what set one, set two, set three leaders all did. And to know what those cards did and what to expect out of them, and kind of the play lines, they become stale, honestly. You know what to expect when you're seeing green blue villainy. You know what cards coming. You're all
No
right.
shout to you,
Here
Joden.
come- yeah, which I mean, that's what I played. That's why I said that one.
Same. I'm a control guy too. Well, I fell off of it.
Yeah, but the idea there being that we do have a whole bunch of leaders that picked up different ways to interact with the game. That like I wouldn't have thought. I wouldn't have thought that the Dryden Voss leader was going to be anything that I enjoyed playing. I've got a Dryden deck that I love.
That's
and
awesome.
playing something like that makes it that turns how the game operates into something where it's not just all right. Which thing is going to be able to cheat out the biggest units, and is that going to be? Do you use Yoda's ability correctly? Do you use Han 1, Han 2? Is really great to see. So I've enjoyed it. We've had some good deck building down here. We've had some good time, interacting with it. So it's been good.
Yeah. No, and sort of to close it out and bring it in. Yeah, I mean, I can't express how fun it's been with just how interactive the decks are now. Because you're like at a liability if, and I was just jamming a few games before we started, and Tom is like me. I'm trying to trade up the units, but you won't get across the finish line. So there's a huge question of like, are you trading up units or are you going to the base? And it feels like there's a little more puzzling involved, and like where before the meta was sort of telegraphed with a lot of the decks playing the same cards, but now there's a interesting card pool and cards that were like really bad before. Like Flash Events was never really a great card, and I don't know. Is that from the new set or from the last set? I think it's some secrets,
That's
right?
from the new set.
Oh, it's from the new set. But a card like that
Indeed.
probably wouldn't have been that good, like in the pre-rotation. You know what I'm saying? Like that wouldn't have been played.
Or like the new like breaking in, it's the one cost. You get Saboteur and
Commence
you get
the
less
festivities.
resources.
Yeah. I mean, it's just stuff like that, like little things like that are really cool. Some of the stuff from JTL that maybe wasn't played as much is now like relevant, and it's just brought so much flavor to the game that like I think we all really needed it. And yeah, locals here in Orlando has been piping up a little bit. I won't say it's like a blowout, but we have less issues firing than we did before, and like just everyone's vibe. And honestly, the weekly play packs, man,
Oh my god!
I can't
yeah.
say enough about these things.
Fantastic. Like
Yeah.
they from going from like the opaque like pastel
That
like
fade.
backgrounds Yeah,
Yeah.
which was like it was okay for the first set or two, but then it kind of got stale to like these, like Tom, you have cards nearby,
Yeah,
right?
like that
Yeah,
that
like
just rocks.
like
Oh
fantastic. Like
man.
kudos to like the SWU art team for these.
Yep.
Like they, like everyone who I talked to at locals, not a single bad thing. Like it's so much different compared to the old ones that like it feels like prize wall cards that you would get
Yeah.
at an event,
Oh
No,
yeah,
and
it's
oh
like
yeah.
the
They
art
look like
looks.
Oswald cards.
Yeah, like
oh
the
yeah.
art looks absolutely fantastic, and who doesn't like shiny cards?
Yeah. No, it feels so much better when you get that participation pack because you know there might be one of those like nice prestige cards in there that are normally in a card pack, and then like
Yeah,
weekly play packs, you're getting 3 cards that are gonna look badass, and it's just a good feeling going to locals, and we're all really excited about it as a team. Yeah, I can't wait to I can't wait to get out and just keep playing locals and get into some of these big tournaments. And yeah, we talked a little bit about sectors. I believe a lot of us are going. I know I'll end up going. I haven't bought my ticket yet, but I hope it's not sold out.
I
But
don't
yeah,
think so.
PQ is definitely going to the limited one. I think it's at Kissimmee, and then yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be at all the Florida PQs and then sectors as well. I won't be at Worlds, but I'll definitely be cheering on anyone from 2 to base that's going. And Tom, I think we have a couple people going to Worlds, so
Fantastic.
y'all start planning that logistics. It's
Yeah, man.
a big fun thing is like for sectors, we'll probably end up getting an Airbnb. Last time at Seattle when we went to Atlanta, some of the late night gaming guys had an Airbnb like 2 houses down from us, and we didn't find that out until like we
Oh,
left.
that is hilarious.
We didn't know.
That's
I'm
awesome.
like leaving. Me and my
Yeah.
wife and like the kids were in the van. We're all leaving the house to go like the final day at Seattle on Sunday, and then like I'm driving and I see Loopy and Platform, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I rolled down my window and like Platform Tony, or he goes by Platform online, but Tony,
Yeah.
shout out to Tony from Late Night Gaming, shout out to Late Night Gaming. He comes up to my window in the car, he goes, what the hell, we could have been jamming games and drinking brews, and I'm like, yeah, we missed out on a good time. Yeah, guys, no,
Yeah.
I'm really excited to grow with you guys and continue to play online and just play in person. And you know, we got some swag coming. I'm working on getting us some juicy swag for our team, some updated swag.
Some hats.
We got some good stuff coming. I don't want to spoil all of it, but yeah, no, epic video. Thanks for hanging with me, guys. We're at about time now, but yeah, we will. Thanks for doing this video with me, guys, and I appreciate you guys on YouTube checking us out. Me and Tom, I know we got a collab coming, and also Saber4 YouTube, youtube.com at Saber4. Make sure you guys follow Tom's page if you already don't. He has a lot of intellect behind his videos. And he breaks down a lot of math that I don't do. I do very popcorny content, but I really appreciate you and all like the in-depth videos that you go down in on your YouTube. And yeah, eventually we'll get a recording together and we'll collab and do something for the 2 to base YouTube.
We need to have another event. We need to have another event at Haven.
More to come on 2 to base event. More to come on 2 to base event. 2026 is going to be fun, and yeah, we're planning some things on the back end for sure.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, hey, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, we'll see you later.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
Take you.